there was moments where it was just a tiny bit corny.
Right. Okay.
Just a tiny bit on the corn side for me. That's just pulled it down.
Corny meter was just too high.
Yeah, the corny meter was on the high. Viola Davis, if you're watching this, well done. It was great, man. It was great. Man, I actually feel like I'm getting emotional, but like this film,
Good film.
Jojo. What is good about this film?
It's a good film.
What?
Was that the one with the app?
Yes.
It's a good film.
Jojo.
It was
Jojo. The fact that you're viciously trying to change my opinion on this film. It's good.
Is it just set in one time, like era?
Set in present day.
Is it set in present?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Watch it.
I thought it was like, I don't know, like.
Watch it.
Okay.
Hello, you're tuned in to 6 Critics, the podcast. My name's Kane and I will have my co-host with me as well, Jonjo. Today we're going to talk about 15 to 20 minutes of films and 15 to 20 minutes of TV shows as well. This all comes from my 60-second reviews on Instagram, which is at Bourneville Goodness, where we used to review a film in 60 seconds. Now we've elongated it into a podcast. You're welcome. Welcome to episode 6 of 6 Critics, the podcast, the People's Film and TV podcast. It's good to be back, baby. It's good to be back. It's ready to pod. We're going to talk about films and then we're going to talk about series. So enjoy. I am Kane D. I am the host. With me, I've got John Joseph III, who likes to go by
Jonjo.
Yeah.
Just Jonjo.
Just Jonjo. Jonjo or just Jonjo?
Just Jonjo.
Triple J.
Yeah, Triple J. Always works.
Coming down here, Triple J. The voices have started. Okie dokie. So we're going to go back in time. When I say that, we're going to talk about some of the things that we didn't discuss round about the Halloween time. But I still got a few Halloweeny stuff left over.
Okay.
I watched Pray for the Devil.
Is that the one with the woman, the nun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nuns.
Yeah.
Bro, it was a decent little horror film, you know.
Okay.
It was a decent little horror film. Mostly because it was the traditional, I don't want to say traditional, but it was around exorcism and stuff. That's what you expect from, a horror film with nuns in it and whatnot. I realized that I felt like I've seen loads of those films recently and I haven't. I've seen loads of ghosty films and paranormal films and demon films, but not actually exorcism films, which is what this one was all about. What I really liked about it was it kind of, I don't know how else to describe it from it took it to the man, as in like the man being Satan.
Right. Okay. I thought
no
it was just like all men. It's just
Yeah.
jumps at them.
No offense, Satan. But like they were just ready to fight him. Like they were so serious about it. It was really good. They had like, I don't want to say it's corny as in the sense you had like weapons and stuff, but they're basically it's like a school and they teach that.
From what I've seen from the trailer, it, like you said, it's a school and they're just kind of showing what you need to do, and then it's isn't it all men? And then she's the only one that comes in and she's like, oh, I can do it better than you guys, or I can do the same as.
Yeah, man, she's fiery. So yeah, I know you've not seen it, so I won't say too much more about it. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. In the end, it finished on a 6.8 for me.
Okay.
I would have liked to give it a 7, but there was moments where it was just a tiny bit corny.
Right. Okay.
Just a tiny bit on the corn side for me. That's just pulled it down.
Corny meter was just too high.
Yeah, the corny meter was on the high. Oh, corny meter sounds cool, man. But yeah, it doesn't sound cool. It's a corny meter.
Corny.
But yeah, man, it was the corn was in full effect.
Okay.
I think they're gonna lead it for a sequel,
Oh, okay.
but I think it's very dependent on how this one does.
I think a lot of horror films do that now. They're like, obviously, Paranormal Activity. The Conjuring obviously has its like, Insidious
series,
and all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of people do because they want to get an end goal again, which you don't really need for horrors, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But no, it wasn't too bad, man. It wasn't too bad. I didn't find it scary, but I think most people will find bits scary.
Okay.
I think there were some spooky moments, but I don't know. Sometimes I watch a horror film and I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just don't think I was in the mood to be scared. But probably not the best.
I'll fight it.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, I was like, yeah, when scary things happen, you definitely don't do this. So I don't know why I'm telling you.
No.
But other people do this. Where you're like I was just like, I was there
ready
for
you.
Yeah, I was just there for it.
Okay.
So it didn't really scare me. But no, it was a decent horror. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
then we can go into Woman King.
Okay, that was a big one.
Before we go into Woman King, do you have anything that you watched?
I was just going to say horror. I was going to relate the one I just seen recently, that Barbarian. I think I mentioned it last time, and I said that apparently the reviews were terrible.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad as I think everyone's making it out as to be. It's stupid and funny when it's a horror and it shouldn't be funny.
It's funny. That sounds awful.
It's weird. Like, you know, when you have a horror, like you were saying, like it's like demons and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't really give you that. It more give you something else. And then once you see it the first time, it's kind of done then.
Really?
And you see it really like at the start.
Really early.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, that's boring.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but it was interesting though. The concept was really interesting. They could have just made it more scary.
Right.
They do have a lot of jumpy bits for most people. I think I didn't really jump because I was just kind of like, it's funny.
Yeah.
How it looked. I think it kind of sells you a story and then takes you a completely different path.
Oh, that's nice.
And you're kind of like, whoa, what's going on here?
That's cool.
So it was interesting. I'd say for people to go and watch it, just because, but I'd get ready for the end of it, which is just really stupid. And you're kind of like, what's the point in this? I've just sat through this whole thing.
Oh.
And now I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I'd probably give it a 5.4.
5.4.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite low. How would you describe it in one word? Good, decent, poor, average?
Average.
Average.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could have done more. It had this
potential
makings of being a great story and being like a big horror.
Yeah.
But it just didn't meet it for me.
Just missed. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really like the trailer.
Yeah.
The trailer sold me.
It's interesting. It's kind of like, oh, what would you do in
going?
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do in this situation? What would you do this? Yeah. But no, wasn't that great.
Damn. Okay. I might still give it a watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious and I want to get my own opinion on it.
Definitely.
5.4. Shocking. Okay. Now we can talk about Woman King.
Yes, Woman King.
Which is not a 5.4.
No, definitely not.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely not. It was good. It's very
Viola
good.
Davis, if you're watching this, well done. Oh my gosh, what a film. Empowering, rich. There was obviously that one plot plan that we thought was a little bit obvious. You guessed it very early.
Oh, yeah.
But that didn't take away. That didn't make it a bad film.
No, not at all. I think it was good that it had that because it needed the connection.
Yeah.
It had to have that.
Yeah. So no, man, a really good film. As a black actor, I can't help but be happy to see so many black faces on screen. It's good to see that more black stories are being told. And yeah, man, it was good. A lot of people talk to me about, like they need more roles for black people and stuff. And then they're like, they remake films and it's constantly remaking films and whatnot. But I feel like this was a new story from what I know.
Yeah, I don't think it's been done.
It's not been done. A guy writ it and decided to put it out there. And it's, why not? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be real. It doesn't have to be based on true events for it to be good. So no, it was wicked.
I think it is based roughly on true events.
Really?
I think the tribe is real.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
All that kind of stuff.
But everything else outside that is speculated.
Yeah, there was not a series, like a documentary. So if anyone's interested in that, I can't remember the name of it, but that is meant to like delve into it a bit more.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Obviously, like I said, Viola Davis was great.
Yeah.
So was Lashana Lynch. She was great. I feel like there was John Boyega was great.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't even realize he was played such a different part from what I'm used to. I was like, it's John Boyega.
Yeah.
At the end, it's like,
John Boyega is a very good actor. I just don't feel like from my experience, he doesn't sink his teeth into as many roles as he could, but as he could smash, if you know what I'm saying. So he could really do really good acting in loads of different things, but he doesn't seem to do that many different things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Kind of like he dips his toe in, but doesn't fully get in because he's kind of like, I'll just take my time with it.
You look at like Christian Bale. It's like majority. It's like heavy hitter. It's like characters every time. Yeah. But with John Boyega, you've got like Pacific Rim. Yeah. Not like, you know what I mean? It's so by the monsters and the CGI.
It came out. That's the
yeah. So it's stuff like that. But no, I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to watch it again. Really. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know. Will it be a classic? I don't know. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I think in this industry nowadays, film after film after film,
you get diluted.
And they're not remembered. But I do think it was an incredible film, and I think I could watch it years in the future.
I think that's one of those films that's going to get great like Oscars and stuff though, and like it's going to get great awards, so it will kind of be timeless.
Yeah, if it wins a few of them, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish on an 8.8. What do you think, John Joe?
I think I finished on like an 8.2.
Oh,
I think I was pretty
really?
high. I think it was like the visuals were really interesting, seeing the story behind it, and obviously what had happened. And like you said, it was just the empowerment was really interesting side of it.
Yeah, man, it is very, very good. Have you got anything that you've seen in cinema?
In cinema, no. I was just going to jump onto Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Yes.
Bang average, you know.
I'd say above average.
Bro, above average makes it sound like it's a lot better than average. And I can agree with you. It's like 2% big above average.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's only the tiniest bit, but it is, I wouldn't say average. Like average is kind of like, it didn't have this, it didn't have that. I think this had some really good points. Or like really good, you know.
Would you say, is this a good film or is it good for DC?
Oh.
Because all of a sudden, that average, it just needs to...
Right, when you put it like that, then it's above average for a DC film then.
Oh, so it's poo.
In recent, yes. No, I mean, like, look at the recent films, and some of them were terrible. Some of them were great, and then obviously they tried again, and it was terrible. That brings to mind just Wonder Woman and then Wonder Woman 2.
Oh, no, you think Wonder Woman 1's bad?
No, I think Wonder Woman's good, and Wonder Woman 2 is bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think The Rock really suited playing Black Adam.
Yeah.
I think he sold it as he needed to sell it.
Yeah.
And he kind of, as much as like the banter he had outside the film, saying like, oh, DC's going to change and stuff, he has kind of lived up to that, because it is going to be interesting to see what he does later on down the line.
I agree.
And then I think my favorite character though was probably Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I thought
Dr.
so.
Fate.
Gangster, the helmet's cold.
Yeah, it's cool.
The helmet's too cold.
Yeah.
I would see what I want to say. Well, first of all, what's your rating?
My rating. See, you've made me think about it now because of what you said.
You said 8.2, didn't you?
No.
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm thinking of Woman King.
I'm gonna go 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think the CGI was terrible, which from recent films is great, because the CGI recently has been terrible in most films, most series and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a nice, it was refreshing.
Yeah, to see good CGI.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I feel like DC really stepped up their CGI game. I don't know who they fired, but it's a good choice. But no, they've definitely, it was definitely better. I found that like with DC, they normally overkill it. It's normally oversaturated with CGI.
Yeah.
Got a lot of that in Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel. It was just too much. Aquaman kind of was the same, but I liked Aquaman.
Yeah, I think that's just the story.
Yeah,
and it's like, it's
I was sold on Jason Momoa and
Yeah.
Aquaman, so I kind of let it lie. But with normally, I felt like it's way too much, but it was right. I feel like they made some smart decisions by having Dwayne. He didn't speak much.
Yeah.
I feel like if he tried to speak and then tried to do the accent, I don't know how that would have sounded.
That's true. Like he stuck to the language of what it was and only spoke when needed to.
Exactly,
kind of thing.
That was a really smart choice. Doctor Fate looked absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The
Brosnan like
gold-
smashed it.
Yeah, out of the park.
Can't imagine somebody else playing him. That's the thing,
No.
which is a great when you look at it that way.
I weren't too keen on Hawkman.
I was unsure. I think it's different to like the comics and stuff, or like compare him to animated side of things. He was a bit different, but I suppose they just wanted something to sell it that way and be like, oh, he is different, and this is going to happen, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see if they do anything more with him, and if they keep the same actor.
Yeah. But yeah, for my rating, I finished on a 7.3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd say my average is 7. So yeah, tiny bit over that.
Yeah.
I feel like I really liked about him, his character. I liked how cutthroat and mean he was.
Yeah, it's anti-hero though, isn't it? But to like the furthest extent kind of thing.
and that
like,
was
"Ah, just kill
good. It
anyone."
was refreshing to see that, like a real anti-hero.
Yeah.
So like you said, actually, in the fair point that there was really good moments in that film.
Yeah.
And if it lost more than 2 or 3 of those good moments, the rating would have plummeted.
Yeah.
But those good moments were great. So
Yeah.
fair enough. I want to talk to you about The Luckiest Girl Alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
This was a really heavy one. Came out of the blue, had no intention of watching it.
Okay.
And it stars Mila Kunis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not seen her in anything for a while.
Yeah, man. I actually, last time I watched her in a film that I remember was probably like Friends with Benefits with Justin Timberlake, and then she's in Book of Eli.
Yes.
Yeah. But she's a lead in this.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I think because I've not seen her in much, I didn't think she was capable when she is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she really like sold the part.
Oh yeah,
kind of
bro.
thing.
It's great. It's really great, and I feel like it's really heavy. I really don't want to say too much about it because there's a lot to be taken in from that film, and I don't want to.
What's the rough premise like?
So
So Luckiest Girl Alive makes me think it's kind of terminal illness or along those kind of lines. Or is it not that?
Basically, something happens to her in secondary school, and she's feeling the repercussions of it in later life, and then she decides to face those demons.
Okay.
That's basically what it's about. But it's done in a really interesting way. I think it's psychological drama, so you can imagine it's going to have some twists and turns in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely sold by Mila Kunis. Really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's something. I mean, it's definitely directed towards women, primarily, from the story that she goes through and the story she tells.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it anyway, and I think you would as well, and I think a lot of people would.
I think it's psychological side of things as well, and seeing obviously how somebody deals with something is always interesting.
Yeah.
Because you always do put yourself in those shoes, or as much as you can, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think I'm not gonna say watch it. I don't want to say push you to watch it. But if you ever like fancy something a little bit different, I don't want to say heartfelt, but there's really dark elements to the film. So I don't think it's fair to say heartfelt. But you know, when you watch the film and you're like, whoa, this was an emotional journey.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those. And I didn't know it was about that. Like, it was at the time, obviously before the Halloween episode, and I watched it. It was on like the top 10. And I was like, oh, it's popular. And Alana, my girlfriend, obviously, she'd heard a lot about the film.
Yeah.
And obviously, being a woman, she wanted to watch it. And so I was like, okay, let's watch it, because I'm
Yeah,
curious.
just throw it on, see what. Yeah.
I would have never put it on without that. And I'm happy that she suggested it.
Okay. Is it a recent film? Is it?
Yeah, it came out this year.
Oh, wow.
Came out literally, must have been early October, maybe late September.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I know, from what I saw on Netflix. So that was good. Got around to seeing Don't Worry Darling.
Yes.
I'd give my rating. Did say 7.8. I don't know if I did.
I don't know. I don't think you did. No.
Yeah, but 7.8 for Luckiest Girl
That's pretty
Alive.
high, actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
For somebody who's not been in anything for a while, the only thing I know from is like the Family Guy voice.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Meg.
that's all I can hear when you hear a voice, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be thinking Meg when you're watching this film.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, man, 7.8 for a film that I think is if I was a woman, I think this film could have been over 9.
Really?
I can't lie, yeah. Because of, I just think so many of the points I think I missed as a man, or I couldn't really, I want to say emphasize, or what's the word I'm thinking of?
Empathize,
yeah.
Empathize,
I couldn't really emphasize with. You know the one I'm trying
Empathize,
to say.
yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't feel the same as a person.
Okay.
I couldn't really, like, you know what I mean, put myself completely in her shoes, but I could appreciate it. I could appreciate it a lot. And 7.8, well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don't Worry Darling. So you've already spoke about this film.
I have spoke about it.
And I was watching it after you.
Yes.
I thought it was a horror film, but it's actually not.
No,
it's not a horror film.
thriller, psychological,
yeah.
a few different things thrown in there.
Yeah. Your description was correct.
Yes.
You described it as Shutter Island with something.
Black Mirror, bit of sex in there.
A little bit of sex. It's more than a little bit of sex in that film. That film is a 15 for a good reason. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the ending.
Yes.
Did you see the ending coming?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But not knowing certain parts of it, but I think knowing what she was going to do kind
Where
of thing.
it was going.
But I think there was a massive plot hole.
Really?
If you think about it, there's a massive plot hole.
Oh, we'll talk about that off mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you afterwards, but I think there's a massive plot hole. It makes no sense.
Okay. But you know what? In regards to what I think you were talking about, or something you mentioned last week about Harry Styles and his accent and stuff.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. The ending was not the kind of ending I've seen in a while. You know, we get loads of different versions of that kind of ending.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I saw a film like this the other week or a month or two ago. Not like that.
No.
And you know what's really good about this film? Repeat value. There's loads of clues about the ending throughout the film.
And you wouldn't see it until you watch it the second time.
So watching it a second time would be amazing for that reason.
That is
really
true.
Smart.
That is true.
That to me, I originally had this film at a 7.2.
Okay.
But after seeing loads of stuff about the like what's been littered through smartly, I've now got it down as a 7.9.
It's pretty high, that.
Bro, it takes a smart director to do that.
And still make you question it as well, like, oh, what's going to happen here? Or
to not give it away.
Yeah.
To like give so many clues and you not get it and it still be surprising is really good direction.
That's very true.
And a really good film. So for that reason, 7.9 from me.
Yeah.
Didn't hate Harry Styles in it.
No, I think so many people got onto it being like, no, he's terrible, he's this, he's that. And I don't think he needed to be. It's just like,
He's a support.
he did what he needed to.
He's a supporting actor.
Yeah.
He's only there to support Florence Pugh.
Yeah, because Florence Pugh made that film. Florence Pugh made that film.
Yeah, man, and she did her job. She did apps. I want to describe how good it is, but it's a standard that she brings with all her work, bro.
Yeah.
She's a really good actress.
Midsummer's the only one I can really relate it to, where she's so good in that she brings it to this as well.
Someone said something really interesting to me about Florence Pugh the other day about how she's very confident, and I think she's younger than me. I think she's 26, 27.
Yeah.
And they're saying that like she's such a confident person, like you can just see it coming off her.
Yeah, bubbles from her.
Yeah,
you know, like,
but when you're that good at what you do, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, you know how like your worth kind of thing, and I think that's why she's kind of like, I don't care. I know what I'm worth, and yeah, even if you watch some of her like her TikToks and stuff, you can see how bubbly and stuff she is.
There you go, man. No, she's wicked. She's wicked. Going on to another deeper film that I watched. Someone suggested this to me, and I think I might have mentioned it, which is The Father.
No.
Heard of it? No. So it's got Anthony Hopkins in it, and it's also got Olivia Colman. Who? So, who do you think Olivia Colman is?
Olivia Colman's the one from Doctor Who, isn't she?
No.
Is she not?
No. Unless I've called her the wrong name, but I'm thinking of the lady who played Queen Elizabeth in The Crown. She was the second actress to play Queen Elizabeth. But I know her name's Olivia. I thought it was Olivia Colman. Maybe it's not. But she was really good.
Okay.
That film, I want to tell you what it's about. With these hearty films that's really warming, all you've got is the plot and the acting.
Yeah.
And you got, with The Luckiest Girl Alive, it's a psychological. So you got like more elements, and I can give things away without ruining it.
Yeah, because you can't give too much away of the story because it's still a journey kind of thing.
Someone described this film to me the same way I was about to describe it to you. Okay. And if I had not knew what I'd been told, this film would have been mad. And I want you to watch this film
without being told that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind you watching this film, bro. I think you would. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
It's a masterclass. Again, of really, really good acting.
Okay.
It's all drama.
Okay.
There's no special effects.
Just built off straight off the acting kind of thing.
Acting and writing and just plot.
Okay.
And it's good. It's very good.
Is it a new one again?
I want to say again within the last couple of months. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know that someone told me to watch it, and I know it's been on Netflix for a couple of months.
Oh, so it's a Netflix one?
Yeah. Smart, man. It's really, really smart. On top of that as well, Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor. He won an Oscar for it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he won an Oscar for Best Actor in that film, and also became the oldest actor to win an Oscar. Worth a watch, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely worth a watch. I know how you like to slate these films that win Oscars, bro, so I'm curious to see...
That's not true.
Parasite.
Wasn't great.
Go back to episode 1. But yeah, man, that was a really great watch. Really, really great watch. Black Panther.
Wakanda Forever.
It's only right. You start, bro. How did you feel about it?
The film was good. The film was better than good, sorry.
Yeah, man.
Like, it was miles ahead of what we've had recently from Marvel and what they give us then or from this film. Miles. It's just so much better. Yeah. And who it's introduced and all this other kind of stuff, again, leading on to the new films. Yeah, it was a good film.
It was great, man. It was great. Man, I actually feel like I'm getting emotional, but like this film, it was really smart.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to. And they did what the people needed to see.
Yeah.
Even though I'm hearing nonsense about how they felt like there should be a recast for Black Panther because they feel like it shouldn't.
So keep with the same thing and say that like...
They just feel like Chadwick Boseman needs to be replaced.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
I think the way they've done it and it is classy and also like pays great homage to him.
Bro, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I personally, again, as a young black actor, I felt a lot of connections to Chadwick Boseman, and he was definitely an icon to me and a role model. But there was so much outside of that film that was sick. Like the protagonist, gangster, bro. He was gangster. And I love a Marvel film when I come out rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah.
It happened with Black Panther 1 with Killmonger. It happened with Thanos.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else I really love who's a
You
bad guy.
relate to him, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And when you
Can't lie, I
when
love
somebody,
Ultron as well.
yeah, when you can relate to a villain, that's where they've sold it to you so much.
We're
so.
like, oh, this guy's spitting facts.
Yeah, like I think I'd go into his side
Yeah,
if I was
you
there.
might be right. So yeah, man, it was fantastic. It was an absolutely fantastic film. What they did really well is with Black Panther 1, it's entertaining, it's a kids film, there's big fight scenes, there's people fighting in cat suits, whatnot, but there's also a deep message that is throughout the film.
Yeah.
And they did that again.
Yeah.
And I didn't think they'd do that again. I didn't think they'd do it as well, but they did that again.
The similarities to the first film as well. Kind of like the way it sold it, it's just really like so. They did it so well.
It's punchy, man. That first 5 minutes it's amazing, man. It's really good. I've seen a few people talk about the length and said that it's a little bit too long and that it was there's parts where it dips. And I don't know if I agree. There's parts of the story that I was not as interested in. And maybe for that moment also, I'd be like, yeah, okay, we get it. Like, we're building this character, whatnot. But I don't feel like it was bad. It's just that my heart and my interest was in these characters.
Yeah, you
not
want to know what's going
them.
on, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely incredible. I've got a 8.9.
Yeah, I think I was about to say 8.7, 8.8 or something like that.
Don't know, we need a definitive answer.
8.8.
Okay.
8.8. I think I seen something the other day. People are calling for a film of just M'Baku.
Oh, Winston
which I was like,
Duke.
I would watch that.
Bro, we would not have it.
It's so good.
Oh, bro, you know what? Winston Duke did an absolute job, you know.
And he was so like different from the first one, but also kept that from the first one. And he was such a like an advisor, like
bro. His character development was spot on, you know. Like he had the same personality, but he was not the same person. It's clear that that things have changed over these years and his character has developed. And as an actor, you know, in a series, it's a little bit easier to do that because you're there every day and you're changing and the character's changing. But in a film where it's like, we filmed this 6 years ago, so now you just got to have to act different but the same. He smashed that, bro. He's also the majority of the comic relief is from him.
Is him.
And with as we know how heavy that film is, that's a lot to have on your shoulders
it as well, though. It had to have it so people weren't too kind of like, oh, this is really
so
like
sad,
depressing. This is,
yeah.
you know, he came in it and was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say. And
Letitia Wright,
yes,
impressed me.
Yes,
she really impressed me. I didn't know she had it in her. To be honest,
like I said to you, all I can see is Black Mirror.
Yeah,
when like she plays that little kid in Black Mirror, but obviously she's still punchy in that.
Yeah.
This took a completely different turn with her character and stuff.
I feel like personally, if Chadwick hadn't passed away, I don't think it would have ever went down the direction it did. And I feel like when they said to her, look, we're looking at maybe having you as the lead, how do you feel about that? I feel like that was a lot of shoes to fill. And me personally, I didn't think she was capable of doing a job as good as she did. And I'm really happy that I was wrong because she did everything right.
Yeah.
There were some things that I weren't too keen on, like some of the final fight scenes, but that's not down to her.
Yeah, we spoke about this. I think that was just more, they had to have this massive thing to keep up with the pace of what they've already had.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, we're going to have to do this, we're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
And then just, you know, make it keep hitting.
Yeah.
But like you said, I suppose it did drop off, but not because of it being a poor story, just because you're kind of like, I just want to know what's going on with them over there.
Yeah, that was it. But no, man, she smashed it, absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
There was, like I said, there was some bits that, like, I think as I get older, I kind of subscribe less to the fighting and the violence and the special effects, especially when watching that, because I feel like my brain was like just like feeling it, and it was emotion, and it was deep, and it was heavy and thought provoking, and then it was like robots and this and all this kind of thing. My brain kind of goes, wait, what are we watching here? Like, is it serious or not? But at the same time, I think that's the point of a Marvel film. I want more Marvel films that walk the line of fun, entertaining for kids, but deep, thought provoking, and you know, opening you up to new perspectives on culture.
I think, as we spoke about before, Thor: Love and Thunder did that completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it was too kiddish.
Yeah.
And I think it would have killed that film if they would have done the same thing as what they did with Love and Thunder, because nobody would want to touch it ever again. They stuck to such a good line that it was kind of like, okay, I can watch this time and time again and try and pick up different things, or just look forward to what's going to happen afterwards and all that.
So putting Black Panther to one side, I saw a question the other day, and it was like, what is the best Marvel film we've seen in phase 4? So we've got Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings,
Oh yeah.
No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, and Black Panther. I already answered the question on Twitter when someone asked me. So what would you put? Worst to best?
Worst to best. So name those top ones then you just said.
Yeah, so the 4 you've got is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, Wakanda. Forever.
No Way Home.
Okay, 4th.
Doctor Strange.
2, yeah. 3.
Wakanda Forever and Shang-Chi are difficult,
Shang-Chi, okay.
I'm going to say Wakanda Forever and then Shang-Chi.
Really?
I think it was different.
Ooh, that is a controversial opinion.
I know, bro. And that's really like weird to say, but obviously if I could, I'd put them both on the same line.
But nah, you can't. But, I respect that. That's really interesting. What did you like more about Shang-Chi than you did for Wakanda Forever?
It was, probably sounds stupid, more over the top.
Yeah.
You know, obviously that final fight scene and everything, like it was huge. That's
anime.
where, yeah, exactly.
Live action anime done right.
Black Panther,
Black Panda, new character.
That's because it's Wakanda Forever. If Black Panther would have had that, where it was like a massive fight scene at the end, then it would have obviously, soared above it. But like you said, it's kind of iffy and it drops off a little bit. So I think it's mainly just that final fight scene in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, man, I get you. For me, I had Doctor Strange 2. Number 4.
Okay.
I then had No Way Home.
Yep.
Shang-Chi.
Yep.
And Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And that's similar to you.
Yeah.
That's the same, isn't it?
No, we've got ours completely mixed.
Have we?
Not completely mixed, but
we got Doctor Strange and No Way Home different way around. Okay, fair. Which is funny because I'm a Doctor Strange fan.
Yeah, going away from it, I think that No Way Home wasn't as good as it was the first time kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was more just nostalgia. And it was more just seeing everyone on the screen and it was like, ooh. But now it's like, nah.
For me, I guess I'm not saying they're better films, it's I preferred them because I think No Way Home was I think Doctor Strange 2 is a better film than Shang-Chi. But I enjoyed Shang-Chi more because of the epicness of it.
The cultural side of it as well.
And also it's the first Phase 4 film that was that really impressed me.
Yeah.
I've been like everything had been happening around and I was a bit like
what's going on here? How are they gonna cancel this?
These TV shows, what's going on? And then that came back and it was like, boom, we're back. And I was like, serious. While we're still on Marvel, how do you feel about Quantumania?
Looking forward to it. Don't know where they're gonna go with it. But I suppose with Quantumania, they couldn't do anything with it because it's obviously the whole multiverse thing and the whole quantum verse kind of side of things. It is difficult to know what they are going to do. I seen an interesting thing that was like Marvel films on the third film, everyone always loses something.
Right.
So like obviously with Spider-Man, like Peter Parker lost all his family and all this kind of stuff, and there's all a load of different ones that have it. And then people are like, but what are these guys going to lose? So what's like Ant-Man and the Wasp going to lose? Or is it the Wasp is going to die? Is Ant-Man's going to die?
Right.
So everyone's speculating that somebody is going to die, like a major character.
I reckon it'll be the dad.
They could do that and then just carry on with the Wasp.
Yeah, because it'll be sad, but I feel like, what's his name? Dr. Pym?
Hank Pym.
Yeah. I think if he dies, it'd be sad because he's been in the franchise for so long.
Yeah.
But also he's one of the older characters and it'd be a little bit less sad. I think it'd be him. If it's the Wasp, I'd be shocked. And I really doubt it'd be Ant-Man because I'd be less interested, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, final thing. What's C for me, John Joe?
It's a good film.
John Joe.
It's a good film.
John Joe.
Good film.
John Joe.
Good film.
What is good about this film?
It's a good film.
What?
Was that the one with the app?
Yes.
It's a good film.
John Joe.
It was interesting.
John Joe. The fact that you're viciously trying to change my opinion on this film. It's good. Yo, I can't lie. This film got a 3 from me, boy.
Really?
Bro, it's a great concept. Awful execution.
Really?
Bro, like, I almost feel like ruining the film. Spoilers. No.
I've had a load of spoilers, so if you wanted to, you could have one free pass.
No way, man. Okay. No way. I will keep my integrity. Yeah, like, it was just the plot choices, boy. Like, it was just unrealistic to me. And the character was ridiculous. Like, she like, we know that she has an app to help her being blind. The arrogance of this person. This is nothing to do with blind people. This is her. This character annoyed me a lot, bro. She annoyed me a lot.
Could you not appreciate her character development?
Shaky.
Really?
Shaky. I get you. I see the
I was
transition
going to say that she's actually gone from how arrogant she was
to less and being sorry about it. Nah. And then like, yeah, bro, like blah 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 happens.
Mhm.
She decides, actually, I'll do this.
Mhm.
That whole plot just goes down the toilet because the film would have ended immediately. Think about what happens, the house,
Yeah.
and then so that was awful. So then it's like we start off the film. Oh my gosh, this is the situation. Oh wait a minute, it might be completely different. Oh wait, we can't do that. The film will end. Okay, let's go back to how it was then.
Okay.
Like it was just,
Okay.
I was just like, what? And then the ending, and then the visuals of like the red light, and I just thought, oh, this is not it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened? I think something happened. Oh yeah, then the guy on the phone and all that happens, and I was just like, oh, this is corny, bruv. The corn meter was breaking, bruv. It blew the corn meter. It blew it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a shame because you know what I did like the person on the other end of the app.
Yeah, but she's a great actress, great actor.
Yeah.
She's been in a lot of good things.
Yeah, I liked her. But yeah, man, that's kind of how I felt about it. Go watch it.
Watch it.
Oh god. And let us know who was right. But yeah, man, that's all I got for films. You got anything else?
No, that's me. All good.
Awesome. We'll catch you in a bit. Welcome to The Pod, a state-of-the-art soundproof studio equipped with 4 dynamic microphones. We've got a mixing desk and a camera mixing desk so we can record anyone, anywhere in this room. We've got lights that can be reflected onto this wall to change it any colour you would like to with this blank canvas. Of course, as well, you could bring props or banners to dress it a completely different way. Whatever works for you. Make a pod a home. Okie dokie, welcome back. We're now going to talk about TV shows. So let's start with probably one of the most controversial TV shows that was finished in recent months, She-Hulk. Silent head shake from Jonjo. What was wrong with She-Hulk, bro?
Everything.
Oh my gosh.
Everything.
Really?
I did not like it at all. I kept thinking it's going to grow on me. It's going to grow on me.
You said this actually, I remember midway through.
I think there's 2 good episodes.
Okay.
In my opinion. And that's terrible for I think, is it 8 episodes it has? Or yeah. Yeah, it was poor. I didn't like the CGI. Again, overdoing it. She didn't need to look like that. And it's annoying because she's a great actor.
Yeah.
She's
Tiana
Maslany. Yeah.
Yes, Maslany. Yeah.
Like Orphan Black. If people haven't seen that, that's a great series to watch.
Who does she play in that?
She's the main character.
In a series?
In Orphan Black. Yeah.
Orphan Black. I'm thinking of The Orphan. Right, okay.
No, Orphan Black. Great series to watch. She's great in that. In this, her acting was fine. It's just the story was terrible. There was, like I said, 2 good episodes. I'm trying to think if I can try and say which ones they were.
Well, yeah, we talked about it. One with the person that we've seen previously in Hulk films.
Yes.
And the one with a character that we've seen in Doctor Strange films.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God. I'm not going to say I loved it, but overall, I felt like it was good. I see what they were doing. I see it. I see they were poking fun at it. It was the whole series was a troll. It was designed to be annoying. So I was like, at first I was like, oh, I don't mind it. And my expectations were very low. So I was like, okay. I liked her.
Yes.
There were some things I was like, this is a bit mad, but I think it was just unusual for me when she, that was like the whole thing with, the character they've now brought back, who we see the helmet of.
Yes.
That was a little bit shocking. And
yeah, but we know that's coming. If people look at like the Marvel stuff, they know it's coming, and they know that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah. So that was all. That was a little bit surprising for me, but I didn't mind it. And then it just went. It just literally went. Oh, she literally went and it went. This is what you expect. This is what people want, and we're just gonna not give you that. And I think, bro, if Deadpool had done that, it wouldn't have been an issue.
No, because he can pull it off.
What? Why couldn't she pull it off? What did she do wrong?
She can't pull it off.
Why?
Because she can't.
Oh, there you go.
Because like it's different when it comes from Deadpool. It's funnier. Whereas this didn't seem funny.
I found it funny.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
You didn't enjoy it.
I didn't.
You weren't sold.
No, it's like with my notes and stuff. I put She-Hulk and I put the poo emoji because I was like, I didn't like it.
The episode name is going to be She-Hulk ? Poo emoji. No, man, I loved it. I really loved it.
Would you watch another season?
Yeah.
Really?
Bro, I'm sorry. I know you want me to not be happy about this, but I
How?
found it funny. I found it
What do you
funny.
think the end episode then?
I thought it was a troll. I
No,
got
I
it.
mean after that.
Yeah, why not? It's silly. It's taking a mick. Like, once they decide, like, we know what happened. It goes down this plot point. They basically unravel the whole TV show, right?
Mhm.
So once they unravel the TV show, it doesn't. The TV show no longer works on the realms of a normal TV show.
Yeah, but then it also shows that anything that's just happened doesn't matter.
But it's a mick take, bro.
I don't think it is. I think they got to the end of the series thinking, this is terrible. Let's do this and make it look like this. Or
Maybe.
let's do this. And then it'll be like, oh, what you've just watched for however many weeks doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is then going to annoy people because they're going to feel like they've wasted the time.
Fair enough,
That's
bro.
my opinion on it. Anyway, that's
get
me
it.
Looking at it and going, why have you done that to make me waste my time?
8 hours of my life. Well, no, it's half an hour, 20-minute episodes. Like half an hour.
Don't get me started on that either. I hate that Marvel do this now.
What? Shorter episodes?
But like they have a thing of say 40 minutes. So it says a runtime of 40 minutes. Why are the credits 15 minutes long? With nothing, like I understand because Marvel are so known. So Marvel is so known for the after credit scenes where like you're waiting for it. There's going to be something else.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're fast forwarding through it and there's nothing there. It's like, why sell this to me of so long and then be like, oh no, there's nothing there though.
Okay. Maybe, you know what, this is funny. I feel like you're more serious about Marvel. You know, the comics, you're familiar.
Yeah, maybe.
And I feel like you value Marvel more.
No, but I know that she is, you know, like, what do you call it? Will talk to the audience and is fourth wall
Breaks the
breaking.
fourth wall, yeah.
I just don't think it was done well.
What was wrong about it? I don't get it.
I don't know.
See, I was unsure at first, and then I was sold. I was really sold. Okay. And I looked at like because I'd watched it a little bit late, so I was watching the whole thing thinking everybody's so unhappy with this. I wonder what's so bad about it. And then I was like, ha, that's why people are annoyed. That's funny. And I just thought it was really humorous.
So you're just laughing about other people's misery. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
That's what comedy is.
Okay. Depends on what your comedic
The king
value
of
is.
comedy said this. Charlie Chaplin said, "Comedy is other people's pain." It's true.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I just thought, yeah, why not? Like, it's taking the mick. People are gonna if you wanted a serious She-Hulk series, you're gonna be disappointed. And I think if I was looking forward to it, She-Hulk's one of my favorite comic book characters. I can't wait for it to come into it. It's gonna be great. Then she comes on and she's twerking and she's doing this and she's doing that. You're gonna be like, this ain't She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That being said, in the She-Hulk comics, the people felt like she was over-sexualized. In the She-Hulk comics.
Oh no, she gets she sleeps with everybody.
And there's like comic strips of her, like, can't see anything, but she skips naked and stuff. So she's sexualized in the comics. Like, do your research. But it was good, man. It was good at what it did. And I felt like I was prepared for that.
What are you finishing on rating wise?
I have got 7.5.
Wow.
But I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I enjoyed it more than Captain and Winter Soldier. I enjoyed it more. I've never watched Miss Marvel. I enjoyed it more than Hawkeye.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that one.
Hawkeye, you know what? Hawkeye had some good moments, and I like Jeremy Renner, but meh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it at the time because I think I watched it after Captain America, after Falcon and Winter Soldier, so I enjoyed it. But I think that was so low that was better, and I was like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah,
but
lower expectations, and it kind of took over it.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I've then got. Well, actually, what have you watched? What have you been watching?
I was gonna say, have you got around to watching Gangs of London?
No,
season 2. Season 2.
How's it shaping up?
I finished it.
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah,
okay.
It was only like 8 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty short. I really liked it. I don't think it was better than the first season.
Okay.
I think the first season was just ahead. Like that bar scene is just kind of like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, this is different.
The season's good and a lot happens. I will say as well, it's very comic booky.
Really?
Like a lot of the visuals, a lot of like somebody's looking out over from a building to a skyline or whatever. It looks very comic booky. And maybe even some of the fights are comic booky. Maybe I liked it for that reason. But I think, I can't remember the guy's name, the main character.
Yeah.
I think he came in again and just did his job.
Yeah.
He came in and did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of sold it for me. It finished off nicely. But the problem I have with this, because it's called Gangs of London, I think it's one of the series that could go on for ages and ages and ages. Because once one gang gets taken down, another one comes, one gets taken down, another one comes up. that's what I don't want. I'd rather it maybe another season. I'd probably entertain. After that, I wouldn't watch another one because I think it only needs another one to finalize it.
That's surprising. Since it's done 2 good seasons, I thought you'd be like, yeah, I'm here for it as long as it's this good.
No.
Why do you think it gets repetitive or
repetitive.
loses what's good about
repetitive. And I think once you've obviously seen him do so many different things, once you get to that one of those episodes, you'll be like, oh, he did that last time. And I'm bored of this now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that. It's not as good as the first one.
No, it was brutal. Maybe more brutal than the first one, but I'd need to like jog my memory on some of like the killings and whatever. But it was really brutal from what I remember. I'd probably go with a 6.8.
6.8.
Yeah,
that's
I think
quite low.
first season's probably about 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 8.2.
Wow, that's a huge drop.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
What was missing? Oh, is it again? It was big, it was new, it's explosive. And then
maybe that. And now this one's just kind of like, oh,
it didn't bang like that.
I've seen what you did last season. And
I know what I'm
it was
coming
predictable
for.
as well.
Oh, really?
Literally from, I guess they do it because it's so, there's only a few episodes.
Yeah.
But the main point of it was, dealt with by like the second episode or the third episode.
No. Okay.
And then obviously they had to just like add to it a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, I'd watch it. It's interesting because I think if you've liked the first season, you'll like this one. That's always a good thing anyway.
I'm surprised because Sky have been plastering it everywhere.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be something to shout about, but it doesn't sound like it. And the funny thing is, I feel like it was like, it's coming. And everybody was so excited for it. Yeah. And now I feel like it's going, it's out. And I feel like a lot of people, I've not heard bad things.
No one's really spoke about it. No one's like, but maybe people don't want to ruin it.
But I also feel like if it was good, you'd be like, you need to watch it. It needs to be watched. Or you're not seeing it yet. It's so good. Like, that's not what's happening.
No.
That's not what's happening at all.
Maybe I'm in the same consensus of other people, then it's average or it's, it's good, but they could have done more, or maybe if there's more episodes.
I think the main problem is the first season was so good that now that this doesn't match up, it's poo. It feels like it just doesn't feel as good. Yeah. It's like a letdown. You're like, oh, the first season was so good, and
I want more of that. I want it to carry on from that first season, but it's not going to work
that kind of level.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. I definitely will watch it because I'm curious, and I think I like the violence, and it sounds really interesting and fun as well.
Brutal, definitely.
Yeah. I've got here Handmaid's Tale.
I've never watched this,
bro.
Is there a lot of seasons of Handmaid's Tale?
Got to be a few now.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I started watching it in COVID. I was about 2 seasons behind in COVID.
Right. Okay.
It's good. It's good. It is. It's good. It's different as well.
As it like says, it is just like about a handmaid.
It's way deeper than that.
Right.
It is. It's deep. It's complex. It's heavy. It's emotional. It's a lot of things.
Right, okay.
And I would definitely say it's worth a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do it. Elizabeth Moss, the lead, who's gone as far as to start directing a few of the episodes. She's also in Invisible Man. She's really good in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting. One of those series that it's empowering for women, but as a man, I feel like men should watch it so they can respect women a bit more.
Yeah, they get the idea of it. Kind of thing, like, this is,
Yeah, so it's really good. After everything I've said, this season hasn't matched up.
Okay.
And it might be a similar, I want to say it's similar to the Gangs of London, but it's not so simple. With this, it's where the plot has taken it, it just can't possibly be as big as it was.
Right. So they kind of sold themselves like too much.
Not oversold it, but it's more like where they were in one series, so where they are now, and that is a natural progression. It's just the stakes ain't as high, so therefore it's not as emotionally wrenching, and therefore it's not as enjoyable as an experience. But it can't be helped. And also as well, I'm not seeing the full season yet. I'm about 3 or 4 episodes in.
Okay, so you've still got a while to go, so it could develop.
It could. But 1, 2, 3, I believe, if it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, we're just mad from the get-go.
Really?
Mad from the get-go. And it's just the situation that the characters are in. It's just mental all the way through.
I think this is a question you always ask me. What are the run times of the episodes? Are they 45, an hour?
Yeah, okay. I think they're 45 to an hour, but I'm going to land on an hour.
I think I might be wrong, and I don't want to say actually, it might be a spoiler. Is it just set in one time, era?
It's set in present day.
Is it set in present day?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought, watch it.
I thought it was like, I don't know, like...
Watch it.
Okay.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And that's very, very quickly explained. But watch it, bro.
Right, okay.
You know what? There's some beautiful things about the first season that I'm just thinking back to, like, just visually, even that's something that's really good about it. How it's visually done, like how it
Mm.
looks, the choices they made with the set, and they do these really big scenes with loads of people in it, and it's choreographed really well.
Okay.
I strongly suggest you watch it.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy it.
What would you like rate it?
So currently it's 6.9 this
Okay.
season,
Yeah.
but previously it's been 8.5,
That is
and
high.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4 if it's
Yeah.
4. It's been like every season.
I'll be interested to see when you finish this season, like if it has risen up or if it was just kind
Mm.
of basic and kind of baseline.
Yeah, I also think to myself sometimes as well. As I've again, I've watched a lot of stuff since the last season, and I
Mhm.
feel like maybe I'm a little bit more critical.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do think what I'm saying is right. Like the stakes have changed a little bit since.
Okay.
But no, it's good. It has been really good. I've enjoyed what I've seen so far, but it's just not been as massive, as
Yeah.
heavy as like I've literally. I was like, next episode, next episode, next episode. This is great. This is great. I've enjoyed it, and I'm. There's no way I wouldn't finish the season.
But you can
It's just
get
not the
like
same.
take it or leave it kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
not as big. What about you, man? What have you watched?
The Devil's Hour.
I've not seen that yet with Peter Capaldi,
Peter
right?
Capaldi.
Okay.
He smashed this series.
Did
Yeah,
he?
he was good in this series.
He's not bad though, is he?
No, no. He was just. I will say it was very similar. The attitude he has was very similar to Doctor Who, like
Okay.
Doctor Who-ish, just because of what the premise is of the series.
I've heard about the. I've
And
seen it in
it's-
the blog in the blur about
Mm.
about. Are you a fortune teller or are you from the future? And he goes both.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Or like a time traveler, and he says, both.
Yeah.
So it was Peter Capaldi and Jessica Raine. I think Jessica Raine's a big actress, but I've not really seen her in anything.
What's this? You know anything she's been in?
No, I need to like double check, but I think she's like been in loads of stuff. She did really well though. Like she, the part she was playing, kind of suited it, especially the psychological side of it. At first, I was thinking it was like a horror, like it's some parts of it, but it's not. It takes a completely different turn.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. It was
How many
interesting.
episodes and how long are they?
I think there is 6 or 8 episodes and about 45 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no. I think the first one's like an hour and 15. But they were really good. I think it was one of them where I was engrossed in it.
Right.
You know, where some series you can be like on your phone or whatever. With this one, I was like, no, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm really confused. And obviously, it wraps it up a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wicked.
And I think it's going to lead on to another season because of the way it ends.
Rating?
Ooh. I'm going to say 8.3.
Decent.
Yeah, but I think Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, not shocking.
No,
But he could be good in the series. The plot could be bad.
True. That is very
so
true.
it's obviously well wrote. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think for him to shine as much as it sounds like he does, it must have a really good plot for him to then act out and work within the realms of.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, I'd get
The
around
Devil's Hour.
Devil's Hour. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds wicked. The name's cool as well.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
I think there's one that you mentioned that I've not seen, which is The Peripheral.
Oh, The Peripheral. Yes, Chloe Grace Moretz, who's the girl from Kick-Ass.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
She's in that film with. She's not in a John Wick film, is she?
Do you mean the one with Denzel Washington?
Yes, Equalizer.
Yes,
Yeah,
she is.
yeah.
Yes, she is. Yeah, I've only really watched the first episode, so I'm waiting for all the episodes to be released first.
Okay.
Premise of it, it's kind of like VR, but like advanced VR. So obviously it's the whole like sensing, and obviously you can feel everything. It's kind of like Ready Player One.
Okay.
Kind of like that aspect of things. And I think she gets into a predicament where she's got to do like certain things and stuff, or she's got to try and, she's got to change her identity and stuff and do all this other stuff. So it's very Westworld as well.
Oh, I love Westworld.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good series. From that first episode, I'm not going to get a massive rating because I need to know where the story goes. I'm probably going to give it about a 7 just for that first episode because it was interesting and it was different. And I like her as an actor as well. I think she kind of gets to the part, like suits the parts for a lot of films and stuff.
Yeah. She picks her roles.
Yeah, definitely. But no, it is really good. I think you'd like it just because of the VR side of things and like the gaming side of things. It seems really interesting.
No, it does. I like the name as well from how you described it, The Peripheral, because it's it's just outside the realms of your vision.
Yeah,
smart, really smart.
Like you can only see one thing, but there's so
much more going on
around.
around. Yeah, wicked. Yeah, man, that sounds very, very good.
But like I said, I don't want to go in too much of it because I've only watched the first episode. I want to oversell it because
you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Do you know how many episodes are out right now?
I think up to now there's probably 4 or 5, and I think there's about 10 altogether. So obviously there's a few more coming out.
Okay.
So yeah, I said that was a 7. There was one more I was going to mention, which was The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself,
Okay.
which is this new one on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Set in the UK.
Oh.
A lot of British actors. It does go to different parts of the world and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just completely
All
goes
over.
different places. It's really interesting. It was different. I was thinking, with what the name says, it's just gonna be about the devil, but it's not. It says the devil himself, so it's kind of like somebody that people have classed as like
the devil.
Yeah. It's sorcery, so like witches, wizards, whatever you want to call it. People get different abilities, like shapeshifting or like ice and all this kind of stuff. And then they kind of use that to protect people in a certain aspect. The guy who played the main actor was great in it. He was just really funny. For a role that it was meant to be like, it was meant to be dead serious. He did make it funny.
Yeah, good humor.
Yeah. And I think it needed that because it was a very serious kind of like aspect that was taken on things.
Is it gritty? I like a good.
It is. I would say it's gritty.
Usually when you get like a teen story from the UK, you get good grit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Skins.
Yeah. This is. I would say it's very much like Skins because as much as I think the main characters, their ages are like 17, 18. It's gory and it's bloody, so it's not something you'd expect.
Brutal.
Going in, like literally, you see so many loads of bodies and stuff, but it's visceral as well.
Oh, wow.
Like there's certain parts and yeah, it's really interesting. And it was just I'd watch another season of it, and I think they are going to do another season.
It sounds like you really enjoyed this.
I did enjoy it because I think I wasn't expecting it
to be this good.
I got told about it, but I was thinking it's probably just going to be another horror. But it took a different toll. I thought it was going to be like, oh, this kid's like the son's devil or whatever kind of stuff like that. But no, it was different. It was good. I'd probably finish on an 8.
8?
I got average. Yeah.
8 on average.
Like, yeah, for me
throughout the season.
Yeah.
Right? There was some really good ones, some not so good ones.
Yeah.
They pull it up to an 8 overall.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. That's high. That's high. How many episodes in the season?
I think there's 10.
Oh, okay.
10. So it's not too bad.
Time?
About 45 minutes.
That's about
45
right.
to an hour.
Okay.
So you could finish in a day if you really wanted to binge watch it.
If I mean, if you got all that time. Wicked. I've got, I think it'll probably be second to last thing, since we're talking about Netflix programs.
Yes.
I got Cabinet of Curiosity.
Yes, we were speaking about this on the horror episode.
Yes, man. Yes. So I had to finish it. I said something about anthologies. I said that anthologies, there's a danger of being one good and then bad, then good. I was quite close. I was quite close to that. I enjoyed The Autopsy.
Yes. That's a massive one.
Yeah.
Because it's a Lovecraft story. It's good. Yeah.
I enjoyed the first one.
Yes.
Can't remember what the first one's
called.
The
storage units. I think it's unit something.
Yeah. I know what the key is. I know it's like 14 or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind the murmuring. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was different because it was just a weird story. And I was like, what's going on here? Like,
all the other ones, except for maybe the Pickman's model, fell very short for me.
Okay.
That graveyard one was trash.
Really? Did not like that one?
I didn't like
you know what it reminded me of? Love, Death and Robots.
Oh.
I would have preferred it if it was like an animated one rather than...
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Rather than it being real life and it being too cheesy or whatever. It would have been better if it was animated.
Yeah.
Like you said, though, I liked the Pinkman's model thing. The Murmuring was pretty interesting. I thought it was just different. And then, obviously, the autopsy was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea. You know which one it was, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I liked some of it, but I disliked a lot of it, was the one with the cream.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I thought they were going to go different with it, and it just...
But I found out that there's it's a kind of, you know how you have arachnophobia?
Yeah.
There's a kind of phobia where you can... No, it's a psychosis, where you feel like the TV is talking to you. And that kind of added to that story. And I went, oh, that makes more sense.
That's interesting. Like, it can happen because you're feeling a certain way and you want that, what do you call it? Like, the...
Attention?
Maybe attention, yeah. Or the reassurance from the TV of like, oh, no, you're fine.
And I think that gave it a little bit more explanation. But then because so many of them I didn't enjoy as much as those 2 episodes,
Yeah.
it fell short for me.
Yeah, like I said, when I was speaking to you about it, I'd only seen like 1 or 2, and I was looking forward to the next one because it was like daily. They were doing it just before Christmas, and people are hoping that
8 days of horror.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. People were hoping that it's going to be like a Halloween, like a new thing on Netflix, where it'll be Cabinet of Curiosities. It'll come out a couple of days before Halloween and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Which
I'd
would
watch
be cool,
another
like a yearly
season.
thing. Yeah, because obviously there's always different stories. That's,
exactly. So there's no, and that's, I guess, as much as I don't like the fact that I didn't enjoy the majority of them, I would entertain another season.
Yeah.
However, if I then enjoyed the same amount or less, I wouldn't. I'd know then. Okay, then never.
Wouldn't that kind of average out though and balance out? Where you'd be like, okay,
You would
so that's
hope so.
altogether is one technically good season.
It's 50% good.
Yeah.
I can't sign up to 50% good.
Okay.
Oh, I got a car here. How often does it drive?
Every
second time.
Yeah. Okay.
I got some good food here. Is it good? Every now and again. Can't sign up to 50% good, John Joe. Your kids are going to be so chilling. You do good in this test? No? Maybe the next one. Not
next
this one.
one,
Maybe the
fine.
next 2.
But if they do good in the next one, then there you go.
Do you murder anyone today? No? Maybe tomorrow, but the day after good? No, John Joe. 50% good is not good.
I think it's okay. I think it's average. That's what you want, average.
Average 50% good is not average.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like, if the second season wasn't better than the first, I don't think I'd entertain a third. I might even go as far to be a little bit naughty and watch the ones that people said are good.
Yeah.
Because it's an anthology, you can get away with that.
You can. And I suppose then you're not wasting your time with it as well. You can be invested in it and be like, oh yeah, these are good.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't you be annoyed that what if somebody who looked at it and was like, oh, I don't like that one, but you look at it and go, oh, I love it.
Yeah, true. That is a danger.
Yeah.
But I'd entertain some of it, I think. But for now, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic enough to watch another season.
What are you finishing on then? Are you going to say it is roughly a 5 because of like there's only a certain episode you like?
I'm going to say 6-3.
Okay.
I say 6-3 because those 2 episodes. So I would have liked more of it to be good.
Yeah.
I found that most of it wasn't good. 2 of them were great.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 of them were okay.
Yeah.
So there's probably more good than bad. So that's why it's not like 5 or below. But I would have, for me, I'd expected out of 8, 5 or 6 to bang.
Yeah, you want more than half at least to be like, okay, I can watch these over and over again.
Exactly. So that's why I finished on a 6.3. What about yourself? What did you finish on?
I'm going to say like a 6.8 maybe because I liked a lot of them and I liked how it was filmed and I liked obviously the CGI behind it.
That was cool. Yo, you know what episode I loved actually? I nearly forgot.
Serious?
Yeah, I got things to say to you. Is the I can't remember it, but it's the one where it's like they all like they have a spliff. You remember that one? The future. It's like set in the 80s and like it's like
yes, I do remember like the red room.
Yeah, bro, that was cool. I've actually wrote a film. Or not, I like started writing a film around that.
Okay.
Because that concept I thought was really cool. And Eric Andre's in it as well. You haven't seen it?
I have seen that one, but I'm just kind of, I don't think that one was that good.
No, it wasn't that great.
You just liked how it was filmed.
I loved how it was filmed.
Oh, okay.
It was, it wasn't great towards the end.
No.
It was a bit meh.
But the way it was filmed, like them obviously speaking about it and everything.
The textures were amazing. Visually,
I can
amazing.
See that. Yeah, I can see that.
That conversation they have in that room where they're all together was so cool. And it's like they're like passing around a certain stuff. I thought that was all
like you've all got to do it, otherwise you can't do this.
It's cool, man. I thought I was there for all that kind of stuff. I thought it was really interesting. But then, you said then the monster was crap, so it kind of weakened it. I think. Oh no! Last but not least,
you had one more.
Rick and Morty.
Yes, finally watched it.
Yeah, bro. Finished it all in like 2 days.
Okay, good.
So it's first half. We've only seen the first half of season 6.
This the other day. I think the second or the newest episode comes out on the 22nd of November.
Okay.
So it's like next week.
Okay.
I think they do it all the time where they have like a mid-season break in between with Rick and Morty all the time. What did you think?
Okay. Loved it.
Okay.
For me, I felt like it reminded me of early seasons of Rick and Morty. The last 2 seasons of Rick and Morty, no. I think the season before was okay. Yeah. And I think if the season before was 5, 3 and 4 were weak. Yeah. 1 and 2 were sick, 3 was weak, 4 was weaker, 5 was good, 6 has been great.
Yes.
I feel like what the position they're in and why Rick can't do what he normally does has led them to be more creative.
Yeah, it adds more to it because they have to be like, oh, we're going to have to do this because
we
can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, we've got to work in these realms.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason, I've literally, all the references and stuff I've really got. Like, that's particularly that last episode where it's like, smart girl. Like, I just loved it. I thought it was really good. Now I'm really curious because now we know that that's not going to be the case and things are going to go to, standard, typical normalness. They're going to go back to what they normally do.
Yeah.
Let's see if the series drops. If the series drops,
then maybe they just need to stay on Earth. Maybe they just need to stay there and sort those problems out. Or do multiverse on Earth. And that's it.
Maybe, but it would be a shame if it dipped now. I hope they keep the energy. I hope they keep the momentum. I hope they keep the style. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do. Wait and see, because they have been really good episodes, and it'd be nice if we get a really good season out of them, because we've not had a really good one recently. So it'd be like,
you know, the Night Family episode.
Yes.
Have you seen Severance yet?
No.
It's literally Severance.
Really?
It's basically ripping off Severance.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, if you watch Severance, it's not like that simple.
Yeah.
But it's like Severance is going that way in like 3 seasons.
Right, okay.
Really? Okay. It's smart. But no, I loved it, man. And repeat value. That's what I want from Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
I want to be able to switch it on when I'm tired.
Yeah.
So it's good. I also watched Big Mouth. I just remembered.
Oh, I started Big Mouth.
Yeah.
I started Big Mouth.
So I finished with Rick and Morty in a 7.9.
Okay.
What did you finish on?
Up to now for the half, I'd probably say 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you watched Big Mouth before?
I have. I've seen all the seasons of Big Mouth. Okay. I've watched, I think, 6 episodes up to now.
Okay.
I have not finished it yet.
I finished it.
It's okay. It's, they've getting some hard hitting points kind of thing, especially going to certain things.
They do.
It felt like there's a lot of musical episodes though.
A few more than last season.
Yeah.
I feel like the singing stuff's gone down really well, and for some reason they've decided
to do it.
Yes, add more.
Nearly every episode.
Yeah, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I'm not a big musical. Number guy.
Not how they do it. It's kind of like. Okay.
I don't mind the odd song and stuff. There's one song I did like in it. But no, I like the ending. I did think it's funny. I liked the ending, but I don't think it was as big as some of the previous endings we have. We normally get a really big finale.
Yeah, especially last season.
Yeah. Wait, am I thinking of? I'm not thinking of. What's the other version? What's the other Big Mouth show called? Human Resources.
I still haven't watched that.
I don't think it finishes like that. I'm thinking of that one. But no, you're right. Normally you get these massive finales with Big Mouth, and it felt like a half finale, didn't it?
See, I haven't
you've not seen it yet? Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like a half finale. It didn't feel like.
Okay.
It felt like it felt like, oh, this could be left for more, but it wasn't.
See, I just know put Big Mouth on in the background, or like if there's something I'm doing, I can obviously listen to it and I can watch it, and it'd be half in and a half out of it kind of.
I liked Big Mouth more than Rick and Morty at one point.
I can see why though. Yeah,
the weaker seasons of Rick and Morty, Big Mouth is better than.
Yeah.
But this back to back, Rick and Morty smashed out the park.
Yeah, definitely.
Big Mouth kind of peaked. It feels like it's gone. It was good. It's good. Not as good.
Yeah.
I feel like Rick and Morty's had a new.
Yeah, they've kind
resurgence.
of a revitalized kind of like, we're going to shoot back up now.
Yeah, it's doing really well. But I don't know why, but with Rick and Morty, I got a funny feeling it's going to, people say it's never going to end, but I don't know. I feel like something says to me it's going to end.
They said it from
soon.
the first season. They were like,
it never ends.
It's always going to keep going. No matter what, it's going to keep going. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this.
Yeah, fair enough then. Fair enough. With Big Mouth, I finished on a 6-7.
I'm going to say at the minute I'm probably on a 6, roughly.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't nothing newer than I've seen, and it wasn't the best season I've seen.
Same-ish.
Yeah. There we go. Anything else to say?
No, that's everything.
Wicked. You've been listening to Six and Critics, the podcast. You can get all our information below. That's our email, our TikTok, and our Instagram. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you're watching as well. It's really important to us that we get feedback. So anything you love about this podcast or anything you want to change, let us know so we can do something about that. The last thing I want to ask is if you're watching this, please subscribe. And if you listen to it, subscribe as well. We need to know who loves this podcast, and we need to know what we can do to make you love it more. And we can't do that unless we know we're loved in the first place. That would really help us out. Thank you very much. See you later.